We have a polynomial and we are dividing it by 3x plus 2. Set it up. So what we're going to do, this is the same thing as we're taking this polynomial 12x cubed plus 17x squared plus 15x plus 6, and I'm dividing this by 3x plus 2. So I'm taking this and dividing it by this. Okay, inside the house we would have 12x cubed plus 17x squared plus 15x plus 6. That's a dividend. And the divisor is 3x plus 2. Now, this is how we do the long division. First question you need to ask, you look at the term, it's a polynomial inside, and look at the x with the highest degree. Here in this case, it's 12x cubed. And then you look at the term outside and look at x with the highest degree, where here we have 3x. So you want to ask yourself, how many times 3x goes into 12x cubed? How many times 3x goes into 12x cubed? So we're taking 12x cubed and dividing it by 3x. Now, if we apply the laws of exponent, this is what would be. First of all, we divide the numerical side. So 12 divided by 3, this 12 divided by 3 will give you positive 4. And then by the laws of exponent, we know that this is the base. X is a base. So we have the same base in both cases, and we are dividing one by another. So if we have the same base, laws of exponent tell you keep the base as x and then subtract the exponent. So we take 3, which is on the top, and we subtract the exponent from this x, which is 1. So it's 3 take away 1. So our final answer would be positive 4x, 3 take away 1 would be 2. Here. Okay. Second step is this. Second step, we take this and when we multiply it by the divisor, which is 3x plus 2. So if we multiply, let's see what we have. So multiplying here would be same thing as distributing. So 4 times it by 3, that's 12. X squared times it by x. Again, laws of exponent tells you if we have the same base, here we have x and the x, we multiply, then we add the exponents. So 2 and 1 would give us 3. So we get 12x cubed. And then we take this 4x squared multiplied by 2. 4 times it by 2, that's 8x squared. Now we take this and we put it right here, aligned with 12x cubed. So the 12x cubed would go right here, plus 8x squared would go right here. Now we know that we have to cancel out the x cubed term, so what we need to subtract the whole thing. So we will subtract, so that means we need to multiply it by negative 1. Once we multiply this by negative 1, this sign will change. This positive 12 would become negative, and this positive 8x squared, this one, once we multiply it by negative 1, will become negative. Now once the sign changes, we don't need this anymore, so we can cancel it out, and this is what we have. So now we are subtracting and canceling out any terms, so you know that 12x cubed and this 12x cubed, since they're subtracting one another, cancels out. 17 take away 8 is going to give us 9. That's going to give us 9x squared. Once we have that, we will bring the next term down. So we're working with 2 terms at a time. So the next term, once we bring it down, is 15x. Right? So now basically we have to repeat the same process again. So let's start. First question you need to ask is, how many times, always start it, how many times is this 3x goes into this 9x squared? So let's find that out. So we have 9x squared divided by 3x, right? And then we know that 9 divided by 3 gives us 3. And then again, laws of exponent, we have the same base, so we will subtract the exponents. So it's x, 2 take away 1 will give us 1. So it's just x to the powers of 1, or we can write it down as 3x. So how many times it goes? 3x. So we'll put it right above this 15x term, right next to this 4x squared term. Now once we know this is 3x, we will take this and multiply it by the divisor, which is 3x plus 2. Okay, this is the divisor. So we keep on multiplying. This times it by this gives us 9x squared. This multiplied by this gives us 6x. Now where do we put that? We put it 9x squared goes right under this 9x squared, and the 6x goes right under this 15x. So we do the same process again. We would need to subtract. So what we need to do, the whole thing, we would subtract like this. So this would becomes negative, and since this is positive, when we change the sign by using -1, this will become negative. So now we have 9x squared, cancel out this 9 squared, gone. 15 take away 6 is going to give us 9x. Alright, and then lastly we start bring this down, which is plus 6. Alright, so let's clean that space, and from this point on we do the same exact step that we did before. We go back and ask this again. How many times, always start like this, how many times does this term, highest degree of powers of x in the divisor, goes into this one, which is 9x. So we are asking 9x over 3x. How much is that? Let's use 9 divided by 3 is 3. X divided by x, same base, exponent will cancel out. 1 take away 1 is 0. So we would get x divided by x is 1. So the final answer is 3. So how many times? 3 times. So we will put this 3 right next to this 3x and right above this 6 constant term. Once we know this is 3, we continue by multiplying with this divisor, which is 3x plus 2, and then we find out what it is. So it gives us 3 times it by 3x is 9x, 3 times it by 2 gives us 6. So we will put that right here. 9x goes under this 9x, 6 goes right under this 9x. Last thing we do is we subtract. Again, we have to subtract, so we will have to do this, multiply this by -1. Once we multiply by -1 and this -1 gets distributed inside, this becomes negative, and this one will also become negative. So they're both negative inside. Well, once this is distributed, we don't need this anymore, so we can get rid of it. Last step would be, see what cancels out. 9x take away 9x gone. Positive 6 take away -6 gone. So you have a remainder of 0. So your final answer would then be this. This is going to be the final answer. So this divided by this gives us 4x cubed, 4x squared plus 3x plus 2.